I'll help with your career. I'll make your grandma's stay in heaven more gratifying, ease your mother through menopause, and show your son how to clean his room. Yes, yes, yes. 3 wishes is all you get. Scarlet ribbons for your hair, a farm in Mississippi, and someone to love you madly. But ain't nobody gonna be made white at the clap of my daddy's hands. You know, I'm fixing you up good. I'm going to fix you up good and black. And you're gonna be black all your life. And you're gonna love it being black all your life. Black and love it. Love it being black. Spell number 7. I only love you with half my heart. The whole is too much for you. You say I'm being emotional. Now that I might agree to too, but I called it love. I called it caring. I called it simply loving you to death. And maybe that was the problem when you needed space and time for self. I called it togetherness, oneness, a unified love. It was simply a pleasure for me when you were all that I could think of. I called it 7th heaven, heaven on earth, and forever on cloud 9. While I hoped you loved me with all your heart, I knew I loved you with all mine. And maybe that was the problem, when you needed space and time. So with only half my heart, I shall love you, giving you space, time, whatever else you need, my friend, my love, so that I don't, in fact, love you to death. So that's just my little love piece. Politically, so I'm going to ease into this, and then we'll do some other things, and a couple of pieces I may read from the book, but these are pieces that I've memorized. This one is the one I think is most volatile sometimes. And you're keeping up with what's going on in the news all the time. There's always something going on in the news. This piece brings in a lot of the news clippings that we see from day to day, especially regarding the economy. Oh, when the stocks came crashing down, when Kenneth laid his eyes on Martha's assets, the stock market went to pieces, pieces of some dreams deferred, pieces of some broken hearts. Here and there, people who had worked night and day, who had saved in the 401k, didn't know what to do or say, couldn't call 911 to get the 411 because nobody was there to ease their pain from seeing their losses. Enron and WorldCom and Adelphia had gained. Everybody was left out in the rain, but there was nothing saved for this rainy days. Martha was still cooking, calculating, smiling, and decorating. No shame in her game when the Kmart bankruptcy filing came. Some will go to jail and some to hell for the lies, the highs, those illegal, unethical, immoral ties. Those who thought they'd get by searching for Texas oil and finding it there in poor people's lives. Merrill was lynching folks too. It's the capitalist side of the red, white, and blue. So you lost money too when Kenneth laid his eyes on Martha's assets and Merrill's lynching became the economic litmus test. Now, Alan's Greenspan predictions were spelled out on C-SPAN. He can't call the shots, who gets a house, a car, or not. E.F. Hutton isn't speaking to Payne Webber anymore, so the world just waits to see how Greenspan spells relief. Then everyone listens. In the White House, poorhouse, court school, and jailhouse, even those in the doghouse. And of course they listen at the 19th hole, where stocks are sold and decisions are made and deals are dealt and more than just a few games are played. Who wouldn't want a piece of the dream, the pie, the pudding Martha just took from the oven? This is as American as apple strudel and baseball strikes and little white lies about the purple rain coming down like tears from brown babies' eyes. Babies on crack and Ritalin whose college funds are now in the red. Grandmama feeling less than fair to Millen, read it in the morning news, then came down with BMB Black Monday blues, and here it was just Saturday night. Nothing was going right. The yellow journalists weren't making it up. They were just in bed with ivory tower media moguls who knew nothing about being in perfect harmony, side by side on Michael's keyboard. Why can't we? No, they were putting away the green and staying in the black. Moguls who own CBS, BET, ABBB, and NBC. What I'm telling you? Nah, McKinney could not retain her seat, not talking all that smack about the Middle East. Money talks, and this time it yelled defeat. Cynthia, we can't vote, but you got to walk. Did the money talk to not so young Andy too? And when Farrakhan showed up, the bold rebels' brownest braids was through. And then what did we do coming up on the end of '02 about to attack Saddam in Iraq? Because it was the American thing to do. Black America stayed home, didn't exercise her right to vote, fell asleep, kept quiet, woke up and realized the last wouldn't be first after all. Sleeping through God's wake-up call had become par for the course. And all Tiger wanted to do was play. It didn't concern him that women wouldn't swing at Augusta. The masters had decided, and slaves would never have the desire nor the right to vote. Not in this club. And it all started when Kenneth laid his eyes on Martha's assets. And we overcoming and singing, America is who God will bless. This one I would read. I did this one at Austin Peay. Dr. Butler reminded me of having shared this one, so this one is not memorized. It's titled, A Young Educated Brother Speaks Out on Life to a CNN Reporter, only to discover the preponderance of his selfishness, his foolishness, and his ignorance. My grandmother might have known something about sitting in the back of the bus, but I can't relate to that. In fact, I don't ride the bus at all. Wouldn't be caught dead on a city bus. Oh, excuse me while I take this call. Buses, yeah, no, I don't ride them. Not gonna have a car to drive. My grandmother bought it for me, saved up and paid cash for me. Says she loves me and wants to see me free. She might have rode on a bus, but not me. My uncle says he picked cotton in the South. Back then, that was expected, from sunup to sundown every day of the week. Except Sunday, he says, well, lectures. But I can't relate to that. In fact, I don't need to work at all. I have credit cards, 2 cell phones, beepers, heel figure, I got it all. My parents have seen to that, and I always have nice threads on my back. I guess I got everything I want. Now, that's a fact. My uncle might have picked cotton back in the day, but I'm just not down with that. Do I know who Martin Luther King was? Well, they say he was a civil rights leader who was beaten down trying to register voters and speak out in some backwoods southern town. Vote for what? Does it matter? I tune my box to something else when I hear all that political chatter. Stand in line to vote, to cast a vote? I don't think so. Are you on coke? My one vote won't count. I'm just one individual. America's been very good to me. Like in the Pledge of Allegiance, it's just one nation, indivisible, one nation under God. There is liberty and justice for all. Wait just a minute while I take this quick call. So now, what was it you were saying? Something about voting and some blood that was shed? Yeah, I feel sorry for the ones that got beat in the head, but you gotta understand, I'm 20 years old and very free. I didn't pick no cotton, ride no buses. This country's been very good to me. I love my grandma, my uncle, my mom, but I just don't see where they're coming from. It's a new day. I'm not a slave. There's no formula on how I should behave. I'm free. I'm accepted. Some of you need to stop living in the past and maybe you'll be respected. Did I register with the Selective Service? I guess I did, but I won't be called up to fight overseas. What they gonna do with me? I'm still a kid. We dropped the bomb. Where? Are you saying we might get attacked? Nah, I never heard nothing about that, not no military draft. Look, man, I gotta go. You're starting to depress me, talking about racial profiling and folks trying to arrest me. This is America, the land of the free. Time to move on and let bygones be later.